Hello. Hi, everybody. Okay, my outfit is not a coincidence. I chose orange because it's Tandem's colors. Okay, let's go. This is what we are going to be seeing today. I'm going to be talking about the company, Tandem Collective, who we are and what we do. I'm going to be talking as well about how it started and how much it has evolved during these years. It was founded in 2016, so it's pretty new still, but we are going to be talking about how much we have developed and we have adapted ourselves to the market. I'm going to be talking about our business model because it's a little bit unusual. We don't have an office. We don't have departments. We work in our way. We all work from home. So I'm going to be talking about how we organize ourselves, our structure, our meetings, and everything. And then I'm going to be talking about our services. The main one is a read-along. I'm going to be explaining to you what it means, and then its variants. And finally, a few takeaways that you can implement in your businesses as well. Okay, so who are we? Who is Tandem Collective? Tandem is a marketing agency that was founded in 2016 by Naomi Bacon. Naomi Bacon had worked previously in Pat Macmillan in the UK for many years, and she didn't like the structure of the company. She didn't like how it worked, and she wanted to think something new, to work with social media. And so she started her own company with just 4 people. It was her, a colleague of hers that also left the company, and her parents. Her mom used to do all the mailings, and her dad used to be, well, he's still in charge of all the financial things related with the company. They started working from their own home, trying to do what they could. And then, a few years later, at the beginning, we just did traditional marketing agency, consultancy. We helped publishers with the promotions. We worked with publishers from all over the UK, as well as content creators. But then soon she realized there was a gap in the market, and the relationship between the publishers and the content creators could improve. It could be better, and they could both win. So she came up with the idea of a read-along. I'm going to explain to you a little bit later what it is. The business grew quite quickly, and soon she started hiring, more people. I'm doing this because we are all freelancers, so we don't have like a contract with Tandem Collective. But she took some more people on board, and they all work from their home, from their country. And then the 2020 pandemic was a turning point for Tandem. We grew so much during those months. In the UK, there were 3 lockdowns in a year, and people were desperate to feel like they belonged to somewhere. They were desperate for communication, for being part of a community, and reading was one of their main points of, okay, I can't think about what's going on right now, I'm going to read for a little bit, and that's how we grew so much. We work with publishers and content creators. We put them in contact. We choose the content creators that match the publisher and the book that they want to promote. We have worked with big publishers and small publishers, independent publishers, big corporations. We have worked with anyone that wants to work with us. However, when it comes to the content creators, we usually work with micro-influencers or smaller accounts, and then I'm going to explain why. We have done read-alongs. The first few years, we only did read-alongs or campaigns in the UK, but then because she had worked in-house for a few years and another people from the company as well, we had some contacts there, and we soon started to expand the read-alongs to USA, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, all the English-speaking territories. And then in 2022, we had the opportunity to work in a global campaign to promote the latest Don Winslow book. And then HarperCollins wanted, they were releasing the book worldwide at the same time, and HarperCollins wanted us to try the read-along format in other territories like Spain, Italy, France, Germany, Norway. And ever since then, once the community knew us and knew what we did, they were interested in them, and we have been growing those territories as well. We focus our campaigns on social media, especially Instagram and TikTok, but we have also done campaigns and projects in other social media platforms like Discord, BeReal, Telegram, etc. Lastly, client and community feedback is very important to us because we can improve the company, we can improve the services, we can improve the communication, we can improve the business, and we can improve us as individuals and as a business. We actually have a feedback email where anyone can send their opinions, and we, not me, but my colleague, reads them and implements the changes if necessary. Okay, the organic evolution as a business. The more campaigns we did, called read-alongs, like I said, the more we learned about the community, what they wanted, how we could help them. If I look back to how the read-alongs or the campaigns were at the beginning, have nothing to do with how they look right now. We have obviously adapted ourselves to the trends, to the market, to the changes. Like at the beginning, we only did read-alongs on Instagram, but then TikTok came along, and we tried to replicate the read-along for a little bit on TikTok. It didn't work, because the platform is completely different. The algorithm is completely different, and so we had to try and make mistakes in order to learn. The services and the prices and the content that we create, it's, we have in mind all the latest trends and also the budget or the capacity of the publisher. We don't charge the same to every single publisher. We learn. We listen to them, we know what they want and how much they can pay, and then we tailor the pitch or the campaign to that budget, to the title, and to the publisher. As we grew, we brought new people to the team, specialized in areas we wanted to explore more. The team has grown quite a lot. We are not a big company anyways, but we are more than they were at the beginning, and we have brought people. The latest addition to the team is someone specialized in TikTok at Sparks, because it's very trendy at the moment. We didn't have that knowledge, so we brought someone new to teach us and work with us on TikTok. The evolution as individuals. Tandem, we are all women. We are a group of like 40-something women, and we always want to learn more. We want to be up to date on everything that is going on. We go to webinars, we go to seminaries, we go to conferences and everything. We want to learn what's going on with artificial intelligence. We are restless, and we want to be prepared for the changes that come. Like I said, we have implemented many changes during the years, and most of us are part of the community. I knew Tandem because I was part of many read-alongs before I was part of the team. Not only me, but also the boss, Naomi Bacon, has a course in one of the UK universities. I don't know which one it is. And some of their students are also part of the team now. And then lastly, but I think it's the most important one, we know how lucky we are to belong to Tandem. We know the values. We have complete transparency. We like how we are structured, how flexible it is, and I think it shows. We are completely exposed on social media because we don't have, like I said, we don't have an office, so everything we do is on social media, and I think the community can see how much we love our job and how much we appreciate being part of Tandem. So how are we structured? Like I said, we are about 45 freelancers from all over the world. We don't have an office, so how can the business run? So we are divided in pods that are points of discussion for us that are led by a designated member of the team. This member of the team rotates, it's never the same, and we are asked if we want to take that role on. I know I said before, some people don't want to be promoted or have more responsibility. I'm one of them, and so I've never taken a lead role, but some other colleagues might want to be challenged, might want to explore that role, and so they are designated for different pods. We've got global pods. You can see the whole thing. Well, it's fine. So we've got global pod that where we touch everything that's going on with any other territory that it's not the UK. So Spain, France, Germany, Italy, the US, Australia. We meet every 2 weeks, and we let the lead know what's going on, if we've got any blockers, if we need any help, how much our capacity is, if we can't take any more campaigns, if we are struggling with anything. Ideas Pod. Ideas Pod, it's formed by a few members that come up with new ideas of how we can do certain things. Like, for example, the read-alongs are like a book club that we used to read every single day X amount of pages. We realized that the community felt pressure a little bit to read those amounts of pages every single day, so we introduced a catch-up day. There is a day when you don't have to read if you can't. You can read ahead. You can use that day to read what you haven't read the day before. So those kind of ideas. For example, we just did last month a well-being weekender. It's amazing what my colleagues did in the UK. We contacted publishers and we asked them, we are going to reunite a group of influencers for 2 days, Friday and Saturday at this retreat. If you want to promote any of your books, if you want to do any workshop, if you want to do any signing, if you want to do anything, feel free to do so. So that came from the Ideas Pod. Then we have the Pitch Pod, which is formed by 6 members of the team. They work in pairs, and they pitch to clients. They pitch either, if we receive an offer like, I have this title that I want to promote, and this is my budget, what can you offer to me? We can do the pitch. Then we go through our list of services and budget, and we offer them the pitch. Or if we see a book that is coming out soon and we think it's interesting, or we have worked with the author before, or we know that the community wants to read that book, we offer the client a pitch. Community Pod, it's all about community. We meet once a month, and we talk about how our community is doing, if the newsletter sign-ups have grown, if the engagement on the post has been steady or not, if the content is working, if it's not working, anything that has to do with community, what we can offer to them, and the social media as well. Client Pod, it's about clients, if we have had any feedbacks, if we have new clients, if we have any questions or anything, that's all discussed there. And I think the last one is Design Pod. We have a design team that designs all the graphics for the website, all the graphics for social media, the read-along cards, and everything. Our contract, like I said, we are freelancers, so it's very flexible. Obviously, Tandem is a client of mine, but I can have any other client. In fact, I'm going to be working at the Madrid Book Fair with Alma, for example, and I have total flexibility to do so. If one of my colleagues wants to work in other thing, if by Tandem she has made contacts with X and wants to do something with them, it's possible. Tandem is our client, but we can work with different clients as well. Every month, we have a process meeting at the end, the last Thursday of each month, and we go through pretty much, we summarize. We don't go through everything that we have discussed in the pods that I talked about before, but we go through the main points, so everyone in the team is aware of them. And then something that I really like about Tandem is that in every process meeting, one person of the team shares their sticky and proud campaigns. So everyone can learn, or we can share the things that we are proud of. So things that worked, or things that didn't work, and how it made us feel, how we changed them, how we fixed them, and we share all that in the process meeting. The time difference, we've got people working from the US, and we also have people working from Australia. Even though most of us are based in the UK or Europe, we have people from all over the world working for Tandem. So when you are assigned a campaign, you are usually paired up. We've got a leader, a lead, and a support person for campaigns. So you are usually paired with someone that is obviously close to your time zone. But when it comes to process meetings, at the beginning of the year, we send, well, not me, my boss sends across an email asking about your working hours, and more or less, we try to fit meetings when everyone is available. The flexibility in our working hours is total, and I love this because some of us work 9 to 5. If you can, and if you have the workload, you can. It's totally okay. I don't, for example, because I do some other things. So I work when I can. And as long as you send your projects by the deadline, our boss is totally okay with that. She doesn't mind if you work, I don't know, 9 p.m. to 12 p.m. I work when I feel productive. Some other people are moms, and they work when they can, after the kids drop off, after after school activities. They work when they can, when they want, and when they have access to internet. And that's totally okay, as long as you send your project by the date that was agreed upon with the client. And then the flat structure. In Tandem, or at Tandem, sorry, you can't be promoted. There is no way someone is going to be above you. Obviously, the boss, she is above everyone, but there are no supervisors or managers or anything like that. You can take on more projects that are more complex, that are more difficult. You can take campaigns or clients that have proved, different to work with, but you are not going to be promoted. And this actually is great because the way you feel among your peers is amazing. You are not talking, it's not like you are over me and you are talking over me. We are all the same. And we all get paid the same per hour. Everyone. From Naomi to me, we all get paid the same per hour. How we communicate, having in mind that we meet every other week, or we have the process meeting once a month, we don't have an office, so sorry, that's a misspelling mistake. We communicate via WhatsApp for informal stuff. We have a WhatsApp group, and in WhatsApp we've got different pods, the groups for different pods, and we communicate there if there is something very informal to communicate. If not, obviously Google Chat, emails, and we've got a shared drive where we share obviously every single project that we are working on, and you can co-work with your colleague there. Everything is going to be there. You can check anything, and we communicate through that. The pod leaders check on the group in a weekly basis for blockers and capacity. Naomi doesn't want to overwhelm anyone with work because we need to be creative to come up with challenges for the readers and to come up with new ideas. So she doesn't want us to be at capacity. If anyone is at capacity, she'll try to give you less work. Group meetings, like I said before, are agreed with the team members at the beginning of the year, as this is every single year, just in case the situation has changed in your personal life. She sends an email about, how many hours are you going to be working, what are your working hours. Some people take Wednesdays off, some people take Fridays off. It's totally okay, but then the days or the hours that we all work together, we try to have the meetings there. Something very cool is that we host yearly retreats in Italy and UK to recharge, to have some time in person together, which we don't get many opportunities to do interesting workshops. And Darcy, which is Naomi's dad, who is the finance director, he shares with us where we are, how we are going there, if the company is doing well, if the business is in red or not. And we just had our Italy retreat last week, actually. Expertise and identity. We are a group of very various people. I don't have any background in publishing, but I worked in bookshops for a very long time in the UK, for example. Some other people have known since childhood, and they came along just to help Naomi at some point. Some of them had worked, for example, Laura had worked at HarperCollins UK. Some other people have degrees in publishing. We have very different backgrounds, but we all add something to the team. Me, for example, I don't have any, like I said, I don't have any experience, but I spoke Spanish, and they wanted someone to be in Spain, to know the community, to know the market, the publishers, and so that's why they took me on board. But we all add something. We, like I said before, because we grew and we were born and raised on social media, the community has seen us grow from nothing to what we are at the moment. So they see us as part of them. We have done a lot of meetups, not as such, but in-person events, a lot of Instagram lives during the pandemic. So they know us, pretty much they know every one of us, and they see us as part of them, or as part of the community, which is great because they trust us, and that's key for what we do, because without the readers, we wouldn't exist. At Tandem, we all have a dual role. We are coordinators. We coordinate the read-alongs, which is our key service. We coordinate the group that it's going to be the book. We coordinate the DM group with those readers. We coordinate the content. And we are also creators. I, for example, write the newsletter that goes to the Spanish community. My colleague from Italy, writes the newsletter that goes to the Italy team. We design the read-along cards. We write the pitches. We create the content for social media. We are all, coordinators and creators. So now, the business model, working with micro-influencers. Why we work with micro-influencers? At the beginning, well, everyone would think that if you work with a bigger account, someone that has a lot of followers, your return of investment would be bigger. But we soon realized that that's not true. In fact, the engagement rate is much lower in bigger accounts. And the smaller accounts don't get the opportunity to show their creativity, to show the readers what they like to read, their day-to-day life. So that's why from the beginning, we have always worked with smaller accounts, and it has proven to be more successful than bigger accounts. We have done, every now and then, one or two bigger creators in read-alongs, and their engagement rate even if it's not bad, it's not as good as the smaller ones. I'm going to be talking about this tomorrow in the workshop, about the engagement rate and how we choose the right creator for the publisher. Then the campaigns, like I said, include a small and medium accounts, small and medium-sized accounts, except for TikTok paid campaigns. I told you before we have brought someone new to the team that is specialized in TikTok campaigns and how the Spark ads work. But except that, everything is organically achieved. And if Tandem is still there, it's because the publishers have realized that it actually works. Then we also do, apart from the read-alongs, which is our key service, we also do training programs to the community, but not the community as our followers, but to authors and publishers. We teach them, or we share with them what's trendy, how to create content, how can they execute campaigns, how can they analyze social media content, everything. And then to the community, we offer classes as well on tips on how to spot trends, how to create content, how to drive more people to your profile, etc. So now the read-alongs. What's a read-along? A read-along is a very structured and guided online book club. We work with the books that the publishers want to promote because they don't have the time or they don't have the team, or there are so many books that are published in the world that sometimes they don't have the time to actually do the promotion of those books. So we provide, once we have the group that it's going to take part in that reading, I'm going to be talking about this tomorrow. We provide the content creators with a reading schedule. Even if it says day 1 you have to read from chapter 1 to chapter 5, you can read at your own pace, and you can reply to the questions and challenges when you get to that point. It's very flexible. The challenges and questions that we ask about the book, about the plot, the characters, the world that it's built, if it's a fantasy, anything to do with non-fiction, anything that we ask, if they reply, because it's not mandatory, they reply on Instagram and TikTok, always tagging the author if they want to be tagged, and the publisher for more publicity. The reading usually, not always, but it usually takes place during a week. It depends on how big the book is or the genre. If it's a cookbook, for example, it takes place during a month. And then at the end of the read, we send the readers a Google form, and we ask for their stats. We ask how many posts have you posted, how many likes and comments did you have, stories, reels, any feedback, one-line review if you want to share anything with us. We ask a lot of information from them, and then we collect all the data. We create a wrap-up deck for the publisher. We grab some content from the readers. We also grab the content that we have created in our social media accounts. We do like the engagement rate overall, engagement rate for posts, engagement rate for the reels. And once we've got all that information, we share it with the publisher, and they can evaluate if the campaign was successful or not. Examples of read-alongs. We have done read-alongs, I think, of every single genre that you can think of. The most popular are obviously contemporary fiction, romantasy, and thrillers, because there is a lot of place to play with with the readers. These are some examples. If you can, check how creative our readers are, I think it's amazing, the content that they create. But, oh yes, these are from Europe. These, I don't know how to pronounce this, I'm sorry. This is from a Germany campaign. That one is from Spain, a read-along that we did with Alma. And the last one is from Italy. And then the read-along, it's a book club, and usually it works really well with fiction books, but we have done some other read-alongs. We have done cook-alongs. In this type of read-alongs, we don't obviously ask the reader to read the book. We ask the reader to, record themselves going to the supermarket and buying the ingredients for a recipe, or we ask them to record themselves cooking that recipe or sharing the moment that they eat the recipe. And it has worked really well. We have also done listen-alongs for audiobooks. Even though they are not that popular, or they weren't that popular, they are becoming more popular because people are always busy and they don't always have time to read. So listen-alongs, are a very good option. We have done non-fiction read-alongs, and this is more difficult because sometimes the topics are not easy. If it's a memoir, if it's something to do with health, like physical health or mental health, the questions are different, and we don't ask them to share their opinions or their experiences on social media. We usually pair them with journalongs, and we provide them with a notebook, where they can share their thoughts, their experiences, what's going through their minds, what they are thinking about the book. If it's a very sensitive topic, we don't ask them to share their lives on social media. We have done kids read-alongs. This is just one example, but we have done a few more. We provide not only the book, but a few activities for the kids to do with their parents. Kids are never on social media, at least on our channels, but they can be taking a picture. They can be on the picture from the back, or just doing the activities, but we never show their faces. And we give them some activities to do, some fun games for them to enjoy reading and start reading when they are young. And then the annotation read-along, this is quite cool because, as you can see, it's very, very annotated in different colors. We make a very small group of like 5 or 6 readers, and we send the book with the tabs to one reader, and we assign them a color. So any annotation from that reader will be in blue, for example, and then that reader sends the book to another reader, and then we assign that reader the color orange, for example, and every single annotation from that reader would be in orange. And we do this with 4 or 5 people, because otherwise it would be like crazy. Then what do we do with the book? That's a very good question. Usually if it's a UK author, for example, because this was done in the UK, the author keeps the book. If not, the publisher will do it, will keep the book. Where do we get our revenue from? So how are we founded? Where do we get the money from? Our main income comes from the publishers. When they tell us what budget they have, we do GPM, general project manager, the fee that we want to earn from that campaign, and then with the rest, or with what we can spend, we give them the pitch. So the main income comes from the campaigns, but like I said, we also do trainings. We do workshops, we do trainings. We've got a course in Paris. We've got a master's at the UOC in Barcelona. We get our revenue from other places as well. And then we do events. We do in-person events, and we do online events that sometimes we charge a small fee, like £2 or £3 per person. So if they want to come, they pay, and that's where we get money as well. What's next? We want to expand Tandem to new territories. For example, we haven't had the opportunity to do any read-alongs, any campaigns in Latin America. We know it's a huge market, there is a huge population. We did one in Mexico a few years ago, and it worked really well, but we never had the chance to do another one, to create community and to keep them there, ready for when we are ready to go there. So we want to expand to new countries. We want to be present in events like this one, like Liber at Barcelona or Madrid. We want to go to Le Salone del Libro in Madrid, in Italy. We want to come to Madrid Book Fair. We want to be present, and we want people to remind that we are here. We want to grow our community in Europe because even though it's growing, slowly but steady, it's not as big as the one in the UK. We've got 2 Instagram accounts. We've got Tandem Collective UK and Tandem Collective Global. And even though we've got more global territories than just the UK one is bigger. The community is bigger because we get most of our read-alongs there, and we want to implement that in Europe and grow there as well. And yeah, we want to evolve and adapt Tandem to new changes. We don't know if there is another social media platform coming soon, if, artificial intelligence is gonna put everything, make things different for everyone. So we want to be present, and we want to learn the changes that comes. So this is my last slide, some key takeaways. Why does Tandem work? We think Tandem works because it's a mix of people, of services, of content. We are expert in what we do. We are very innovative. We are doing something that, even though it's not brand new, it's different. We have a global network of creators. We work from all over the world, and we all add something different to the team. We have highly engaged campaigns. The engagement rate is very, very high compared to other paid campaigns. And then we value our content creators because of the data that they give us, not because of the followers that they have. And I think that's paramount because not every single account out there gets the opportunity and the chance to be in a reading campaign, for example. So that's everything from me. Thank you so much. If you've got any questions or any doubts, I'm here. If not, thank you.